What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. Track my spending in London every day for 1 week as part of my journey to become more financially literate this year. The results were really eye-opening. London is notorious for its high cost of living. This was a fairly typical week of spending for me. At the end of the video, I'm going to be tallying everything up, so stick around to see how my spending compared to the average Londoner. Before we start though, don't forget to like and subscribe because it is completely free. Also, there's 15 to 20 different caveats I could make with this video. Like, finances are such a personal thing. There are so many things that you have to factor in, which I'm not going to include in this video because I just don't want to over explain myself. So take everything you see with a grain of salt. So I'm going to be working today. I don't think it's going to be a big expenditure day because I usually work 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. I did pack my lunch, but I didn't have breakfast, so that's going to be my first expense and probably only expense of today. Technically, the first expense of the day is public transport fees. I usually catch 4 trains per day and it works out to be £5.25 one way. It really baffles me that public transport fees are higher during peak hour. Like, what am I meant to do? Asked to work at a different time. Once I got to work, I did go straight to the cafeteria to get breakfast. My work has a hot breakfast in the mornings, and with a staff discount, it came to £3.60. I've been on a journey to build a lot more muscle, and that means like eating a lot more and not skipping meals like breakfast. After work, I took the tube home, which was £5.25. I stopped by M&S to grab some ingredients for dinner. I planned to buy sour cream for some fajitas that I was making, but I accidentally picked up single cream instead. I know it says it on the label, but I just assumed that it meant it came in a single pod. Turns out there's single cream, double cream, and a whole range of creams I never knew existed. I ended up having a nice beef fajita single cream situation. No, I'm kidding. I just threw the not so sour cream out. Also, I was only today years old when I discovered that if you put a tortilla in the pan and put the cheese on top and let it melt before you put your other ingredients on top, it tastes so good. Chef's kiss. Highly recommend. You should try it. As far as food and groceries, I usually alternate between Tesco, Sainsbury's and M&S. M&S is one of the more expensive branches of grocery stores in the UK, but the food there tastes a lot better, so I'm willing to pay for that. London weather is so unpredictable. Yesterday was 18 degrees and sunny, and today it's 7 degrees and freezing cold. But at least it's Friday and I'm on my way to get some treats from my colleagues. On Friday, I stopped by Buns from Home, which is a bakery chain. They sell hand-rolled buns with various fillings and toppings. I ended up getting the tiramisu and berry cheesecake one. I highly recommend checking them out if you're ever in London, or if you are living in London and you just like pastries. It's just a good place to go to. I probably say this is an expense for me every 2 to 2.5 weeks, and it came to a total of £9.90. My other expenses for this day was a pan out chocolate, which cost me £1.36, and then my usual tube fare. Total for Friday was £28.46. I was going to say cents, but pence. Is it pence? I don't know, 28.46 pounds. Good morning, happy Saturday. I am just at the gym now. My gym is relatively on the cheaper side of gym prices in London. It's about £30 a month, which is I think about £1 a day, but they can range anywhere from like 30 to like £300 a month for the higher or more expensive higher end ones, which is just insane, but mine's pretty cheap. So the gyms here, as I said, can range from £30 to £300. I really don't know what you would be getting in a £300 per month gym as opposed to like a £30 per month gym. Also, like with the lower ones, you can pay for add-ons. Like you can get sports flavored water like add-ons. So there's a machine in the gym where you can get like sparkling water and flavored water. You can also get like priority booking, access to multiple sites, and access during peak times. There's basically like a bunch of them, and I just pay for the most basic one, which is access to one site 24/7. So I'm in Shoreditch. I'm heading towards Brick Lane, which is an area with a bunch of like vintage shops, and there's a food market hall there, which I am gonna go to because I'm gonna meet my friend for lunch. I've taken so many samples. I feel like I'm gonna fill up just on samples. This could be a free expense day too, honestly. They're just handing them out left, right and center. I am so drained and exhausted because I just got back from Brick Lane. Yeah, it was actually really good. I ate some good food. Didn't find any of what I was looking for. I wanted to get some rings and maybe like a jacket and stuff, but yeah, I didn't find anything. It was, yeah, like I said, super exhausting. There are so many stalls, so much stuff to look at, and the way it's all organized is not intuitive. So it's just very draining because you're constantly like turning your head looking at things. But yeah, as far as expenses, I think it ended up being like £30 total. My food was like £13, then £5. I got like a Brazilian cake and a cheese scone situation. And then public transport's usually like £10.50 per day there and back. That's how it is like during the week when I'm commuting. I think it might be the same or cheaper on the weekend. And I also stopped by M&S on the way and got some flowers, not to eat, just for decoration. Got some tulips because it's spring and it's beautiful and I love having some flowers around. And I also got some popcorn, sweet and salty popcorn, which I didn't know was a thing, but it is a thing in the UK. I remember going to like the cinema when I first moved here, and by the way, don't mind the mess behind me. I remember going to the cinema when I first moved here, and I asked for like, you know, got a meal deal situation. He was like, do you want sweet or salty? And I was like, sweet or salty what? He's like, do you want sweet or salty? I'm like, sweet and salty what? And then the person I was with was like, do you want your popcorn sweet or salty? I was like, I didn't know you could do sweet. But yeah, that's like a thing now, and it's really cool because basically like half the bag is sweet, half the bag is like salty, and it's just a weird sensation because you don't know what like is going to be in your mouth. But actually no, you get both flavors in your mouth, and it's such an interesting like experience. And I feel like if you grew up with it, you don't know any better, so you don't notice how different it feels. But yeah, so I got that. I think that was like £7. And so I'm gonna do later is just chill out. I'm not gonna be hungry for dinner, so I will just snack on that and watch a film and call it a night. So naturally I do end up spending a little bit more on the weekends because I'm dining out, I'm seeing people, I'm going places, as opposed to during the week when I'm just commuting to and from work. So the total for this day, including the food at the markets, the gym and the tube fare, was £36. On the agenda today is groceries, pay a fine and do some online shopping. I typically go to the store twice a week because my fridge isn't very big, but I also like my produce to be fresh, so I don't like keeping it in the fridge for like one hot week. So I tend to go more often to the store. It's just what works for me now. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I have a road traffic fine, 2 fines actually, that I got when I was in Australia in December, which, yeah, they're both $1,200 each. But yeah, so I'm just paying it off like in installments because your girl wasn't expecting that. And then I'm going to Greece in April. I'm going to Santorini with my friend, and I just want to buy some outfits for that trip. And I also I'm just sick of like my current wardrobe, so I'm just gonna go online shopping when I get back. I'm on night shift tonight, so yeah, it's not gonna be a very big day. So Sunday's grocery day, not always, but I was on this day, and like I said earlier, I do alternate between grocery stores. I like to get my fresh produce from Marks and Spencer's, like my broccoli, and just my fruit and some of my proteins as well. Oh my god, they do the best teriyaki flavored salmon. Although granted, it's overpriced, it's like £7 for a pack of 2, but it is very easy and convenient for lunches and dinners. So I get about 2 of those packs. So this day I went to Tesco, and I'd say it was a standard weekly shop for me, and the total came to £36 and 3 pence. Sunday was my biggest expenditure day by far. It came to £157 and 87 pence, but that includes the fines, which were about £30 each. A chai latte that I had while waiting for the grocery store to open, because grocery stores here only opened at 11 o'clock on Sunday. I didn't know that. The tube fare and the grocery shop. Monday was a pretty boring day. I was recovering from my night shift, so I didn't spend that much money. It was just a tube fare and some snacks that I got from the corner store. Tuesday, I started off by going to the gym, then went out to dinner. I typically do go out to eat at least twice a week, whether it's like dinner or meeting a friend for lunch. So this is pretty standard part of my routine. Because while I'm in London, I'm here to see the city. I can't just like not go out, try out places. So whenever someone's like, let's go out to eat, I say, yeah. I'm going to a restaurant called Seabird. I think it's like a fancy seafood restaurant, like one of those places where you pay a lot of money, but then the portions of food they give you is like really small. Anyways, this is my fit. I have been meaning to catch up with this friend for literally months. The last time we caught up was end of November. It's now end of March. It's just one of those people where you try and catch up with them and it's like, I'll see you in 2 months. Anyways, we're finally gonna link up. She actually texted me that she's on the way. She's also one of those people that's always late. And I'm always one of those people that's chronically early. Go check it out. See what it's saying. Ironically, I'm actually the one running late this time because I didn't realize there were 2 locations, and I went to their one near Old Street and this one's in Blackfriars. Anyway, so it's 6:45 and I'm almost there. Something I'm realizing is I eat a lot of food. I do find dining in London can get quite expensive, especially because if you're getting really dressed up, you don't want to get on the train. I usually get an Uber. Obviously, like Uber rates are way more than getting a train. And also when it comes to dining, there isn't really a tipping culture here. But something that I noticed is they have service charges here. And it's not just because like it's a Sunday, like an increased rate because it's like a weekend or whatever. They just add like 10 to 15% onto your bill. And I thought it was mandatory, but it's actually dependent on where you go. And people here, like the locals, don't really hesitate to get it like taken off if they're not happy with the service or they just don't feel like paying for it. Wednesday was another work day. I got breakfast in the cafeteria again, and I also went to Superdrug to get some makeup essentials. I didn't have time for breakfast, and I also didn't make any lunch, so I got a cheese pretzel and coffee. I apologize for the noise in advance, but I'm on my lunch break. I'm in the park. I just went to Wasabi. Just got some sushi and 7-Up. I don't usually drink soft drinks, but I just felt like something sweet and I didn't want to buy water. So yeah, it's a beautiful day. I don't come out very often because usually it's very grim. Like, what am I going to come out for? But today is beautiful. It's 17 degrees. Again, cloudless skies. It's gorgeous. So yeah, very excited for summer. And of course, like the park's like full of people. Not this one, but I walked through another park to get to my food, and that park's got like a bunch of people, but it was too noisy to sit there, so I'm sitting at a quieter one. And springtime as well in London is just so beautiful. Like, there are so many plants here, so everything just flowers, and there's so much like just beauty in the springtime here. I just love it. It's such a nice climate. Look at my sushi. It's a salmon avocado dragon roll. Delicious. This is my scene. It's beautiful. That is so good. My total for Thursday came to £31.58, including some snacks that I got on the way home from work. I know this isn't the most accurate representation of my spending. I did think about removing the fine, but to be honest, I usually get my nails and my lashes done, and that's usually about the same price. Maybe slightly even more sometimes. So I'm gonna leave them in. The total that I spent in one whole week came to, drumroll please, £650 and 87 pence. Honestly, it's madness. I can't even like process that properly. I knew that I spent a lot because I don't live very like tightly. I'm living abroad. I'm trying to see different places. I'm trying to experience the city. So I was thinking it'd be like 200 max. 650 is like insane. It's almost what, 1400 Australian dollars. Like how mad is that? And I spend that just on myself. And people are supporting whole families like on their salaries. And I would say that most of my spending goes towards food and public transport fees, because you guys saw how much I spent on that grocery shop. I think it was around £36, and that was just for me. And it was such a small amount for such a high expense. So to try and like feed a whole family, it would just be like one man's whole monthly salary. And the other thing is, with public transport, I honestly wonder if it would be cheaper to just get a car. But the thing with getting a car is, one, it's not really practical because there's nowhere to park in London, and also there's extra fees that come with owning a car in London, like congestion fees, and I think gas and petrol are ridiculously expensive here as well. Like I think I've seen it be like £3 per litre. I'm very surprised. This whole audit tracking was very like eye-opening to me. I don't know how I'm gonna change my spending going forward. Like I said, I'm living abroad at the moment, so it's not really like the season of life to be like frugal for me. But it's also not about like spending everything I make. I do save a certain percentage of my income. I would say we're prioritizing enjoyment. That's what I would say. This was honestly such a fun video to make. I hope you got some good takeaways. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Don't be making a mountain out of like some small detail I left out or didn't properly explain. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one.